You're listening to the RADCAST, a top 25 worldwide business podcast. If it's radical, we cover it. Here's your host, Ryan Alford.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the latest edition of the RADCAST. It's Friday, March 3rd, 2023. Our weekly marketing and business news of the week. Christina Yassi, what's up?
Hello, hello.
Nick Weaver on the ones and twos.
How's it going?
We're live here in our studio.
On a beautiful day in South Carolina.
Greenville, South Carolina. You know, the place to be.
Indeed.
Crane on every corner.
I love it.
Everybody's moving in.
So many rerouted ways to drive places.
Yes. Here in our state-of-the-art studio, it's Social House.
Yes.
One of the
OG Social House.
Yes, the OG. If you're ever in Greenville, need somewhere to work, need somewhere to play, come here all day. Hey.
I get it.
Poems, you know. Hey,
I think you
March,
missed your true calling.
Our 1st of March, you know, like poems. I'm speaking poems.
There you go. A new resolution.
Yes, that's better. And maybe it's me or maybe it's a deep fake of me. I don't know. It could be.
There will come a day.
This rang. I saw this article earlier in the week. I'm like, all right, we need to talk about this. So it was. Did you watch any of the videos?
Like a hot second of it.
The Biden
one's
funny.
great.
I mean, it's like, but I will say this. So now, you know, to give a little context, you know, everybody's probably heard of deep fake videos by now, like where the actor's face is like just kind of scary, like blurred in. They had the Keanu Reeves one, like
yes.
robbing a store.
Yes.
Looked just like him. And now they have voice. They're doing deep fakes with voice. So like they showed Biden doing it, and they used it for comedy, which is sort of funny, but also sort of scary. As someone that, you know, talks on the mic regularly.
Right,
you
right.
know, I was like, oh, great. Oh, man.
Good old Ben
How easy
Shapiro,
it is.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting where all this AI is going, and there's going to have to just be some technology that analyzes and tells you, like, it's going to have like a blue check like in the corner of the audio wherever you're watching it or something, like verify that it's the voice or something.
It reminds me of that show, like Everything is Cake.
Yeah.
And you can't tell, like, because the cake is so detailed, you just don't know. It's like, is it AI? Is it a real person?
Someone's going to go, Chat GPT, they're going to go, all right, I want a 10-minute episode about cupcakes and baking when I'm stoned in Ryan Alford's voice. Kind of want to hear that now that I said it.
There you go, right? That's a whole other segment.
Play Christina Yassi as a...
Throwing up with Delta 8.
Yes. No, or not.
Right, not.
But this is interesting. I don't know. You need to go watch this. It was on BuzzFeed News. So it was Joe Biden. They had Joe Rogan talking about
and Ben Shapiro.
I'm gonna call it the New Age Transformers. I don't even know what they were talking about, but it was funny. Even though I didn't know the characters or the cartoon.
Right,
that they were
right.
referencing.
Sure.
Some kind of like Panama or something. I think.
Anime, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody
eerie.
gets replaced.
Yeah.
You know, if you can deep fake the video and the audio, like, you know, what's real and what's not. I'm just gonna
Web3.
I'm gonna move to the metaverse.
Exactly. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna all be pushed out.
Yeah.
Into Web3.
So we've got a deep fake in the metaverse. Yeah.
Stop it. Robots take over everything. There's a new era of alcohol advertising as well. This is a pretty big deal. AB InBev ended its 33-year hold on Super Bowl alcohol advertising, which means that companies like Crown Royal and Remy Martin can start advertising.
Yeah. And you know, the article I think summarized it right. This comes from Marketing Dive, one of our favorite places for marketing news. The Super Bowl commercials sucked. I've watched those over again now, for like a 20th time, and my first impressions were the same.
Yeah,
like at least
they don't get
85% of them, and a lot of them were led by the alcohol brands. I think trying to be too safe. They knew they'd spent a ton of money on the spot. And so they're like, all right, we're not going short with creative. We're going to get 7 celebrities in here, and we're going to jump off a cliff and, like, you know, no real story, but just jam a bunch of celebrities in and promote something and go, all right, it's going to stick because we've spent so much money. We're going to spend another $1 million on the actors, and we'll see if their sales go up. I'm sure their awareness did, but it was interesting because I did kind of catch that a little bit. I knew about that agreement where they were the only one. I kind of had thought it had expired, but thinking back, I couldn't remember like a liquor specific commercial.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. And then I read this article and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that I have never seen anything like that.
Yeah, some of the other brands. And so, but yeah, I think the Ultra ad was interesting. I liked last year's better when they were in the bowling alley.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see where this goes. It's always interesting to me. Like, I'm going to age myself a bit. Back in my day. But there was a long time where you couldn't promote alcohol, like other than beer. You couldn't, like liquor had a very limited space.
Okay.
You couldn't put it on TV. You couldn't there's only certain things you could do with like hard liquor.
So interesting.
With the marketing, like when and this was like mid 2000s. I remember because I worked on Bud Light a couple of projects with the agency that I was at, and I remember there being some kind of crossover that they were wanting to do, and it's like there's so many limitations like liquor advertising.
Interesting.
So, but it's obviously full gamut now.
Right. Right. My, how times change.
Drink them if you got them.
There you go.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. On our Tuesday guest episode, we bring to you some of the biggest, brightest stars in business, entertainment, and pop culture. And we've aggregated some of our music stars to bring you country stars and pop heroes. We had Coffey Henderson, Jaren, Johnston, Tyler Rich, Alina Smith, and Jenna Andrews, a really eclectic group of artists that talked about growing their brands and music in today's landscape.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of actionable things in and outside of the music industry, and I think it was fascinating to kind of organize all of that and kind of bring you another best of. So hopefully you check that out. We're really aggregating some of the value we've put together with over 300 episodes the last 5 years. We're starting to we're making it easy, digestible.
Yeah.
Bite size.
Best of the best.
The best of the best. And next week, Sean Michael Crane, great story of perseverance and from prison. Like literally, he got falsely accused, served about 7 years in prison, and instead of crying his way and woe is me, he's turned it all around and is a personal speaker, coach, and an amazing dude. Really great story. Really great storytelling. There's some episodes with guests where we really have banter back and forth, and then there's sometimes where I try to get out of the way and let them just because the story's so deep. And this would be one of those episodes. And I think if you're looking for a little motivation, a little kick in the ass, this is a great episode for you, as well as some tips and tricks and things that you have to do mentally to kind of overcome shitty things that happen.
Truly.
So check that out. Sean Michael Crane on Tuesday, March 7th. Check that out. All your favorite platforms. And speaking of favorite platforms, we did expand into iHeartRadio, Pandora's newest platform, and another one this week. So there's no excuse.
Right.
If you're hearing this, you found out where to find us.
We are enabling you.
But if you have a friend, and they're iHeart junkies or something, then tell them the RADCAST is here now.
Platform.
And again, thank you for all your love. We're at number 16 this week in business and marketing on Apple Podcasts. Lowest rating we've had. Consistently staying in that top 20. So we really appreciate it. Like, love, share, review. We appreciate the feedback. Yeah. And tell us what we can do better. Or, Christina.
Right. Obviously. Yes. Tell me how to improve.
Yes. Speaking of improving, I just got a shipment confirmation.
Yes, mine's on the way.
Yeah, I got one. It's last night or this morning. So the official meat delivery sponsor of the RADCAST, I'm just going to call it the official steak lovers.
Our steak sponsor.
Steak sponsor. Meat sponsor of the RADCAST. Good Ranchers. Family-owned, USA-based. The best meat in the country. And look, folks, you don't know where that beef comes from in your supermarket. Just because the butcher is so nice at your local grocery store and you have a relationship with him and he packs it up and he puts it out there and you're like, oh, this looks red and meaty, doesn't mean you know where it came from.
Truly. Or what's in it.
Or what's in it. How many steroids have been pumped into it? Who knows?
Right.
You just don't know. With Good Ranchers, it's all farm raised, all in the U.S., and all the best quality. You know why? Because I've already had it. I've already had my first orders. I'm ahead of you here on this one.
Yes, you are.
But more coming.
Have you tried the bacon yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
You had me at bacon.
Bacon is why I'm not vegan anymore.
Yeah, and you need to get in on that promo before it ends. Bacon for the rest of the year, free with every sign up.
Yeah.
And of course, if you use RADCAST, code RADCAST, you get $30 off your first order. And let me tell you, folks, you can check one or two things off your list. You don't have to worry about meat anymore.
Exactly.
You've got it
comes to the
flash
door.
frozen in your freezer when you want it. And let me tell you, having already done one order with them, it's some of the best quality, best tasting meat that I've ever had. Bar, some A1 Wagyu that costs, more than I would ever probably pay again for meat.
Truly. Heard.
And so, again, you're supporting a family-owned business, great people, and you know where it's coming from, and you know it will be delivered right to your door, so you don't even have to leave.
Right. It's great if you got a family, and it's also great if you don't.
Exactly.
Works for
Steaks,
everybody.
chops, bacon,
chicken,
seafood. They got it all, but let me tell you, get the steaks. Ryan offered approved, the RADCAST approved, and we don't approve anything we don't like. And we like these guys, Good Ranchers, goodranchers.com. Tell them the RADCAST sent you. If you go check any of the links on the RADCAST, you can find them actually listed on our website, theradcast.com. Click on sponsors, click on Good Ranchers. You'll go straight to their site. Give them some love, and you'll thank us for it because it's delicious.
It's pretty good. It's unassuming. So this next article we're talking about is very exciting, especially for the industry that we're in. Canva, the graphic design company, is launching a new paid subscription for universities and colleges. Canva for Campus, an extension of Canva for Education, launched today as a paid subscription for universities and colleges.
Smart.
It feels like it should have happened a long time ago. This is such easy money.
I know. I mean, they've really democratized graphic design. I wondered how, and I'm going to ask Nick this, so I'm going to give him a second to think about it. But because he's a designer, multi-talented designer, editor. But I wondered when it'd make the transition from I do have a little bit of design training, but I'm not a truly fully trained guy. And the average consumer that this is democratized design for, because anybody can kind of create a little something. Right. I think it still takes a lot of creativity to make something beautiful, which is kind of the distinction. But I wondered when some of the classically trained designers would start moving to this. And one of ours, Logan, uses it sometimes now for quick things. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, this is now officially starting to jump into
dumbed down.
Not just dumbed down design. It's okay, people are viewing this as easier and quicker for certain things. Nick used it. Any opinions on it?
I've used it. It's pretty good. I know a lot of graphic designers that have used it. It's just intuitive, and it's just makes it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it easier? Is it easier than Photoshop?
Yeah, it's easier. It has
for you as a designer.
It has a lot more functionality,
Right.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Canva Campus.
Nick Weaver approved. Canva on campus.
There you go.
Look, this is how they're spreading into different everywhere. I mean, it's everybody needs to design now. Everybody's posting on social media. There's a lot of needs for it. Faculty are creating those boring charts. Let's make them look a little nicer.
Right. Make your PowerPoint better. It's prettier.
But you know what's funny? Not funny. Funny, ironic. Sometimes I say that and I'm like, I didn't really mean that to be funny. That's my way of saying ironic. My wife, who I do want to pause here while we're talking about universities. My wife, who I'm very proud of, Nicole, was actually promoted and got the principal job at her middle school.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Only woman in her district at the middle school level or higher that has the principal position.
That's amazing.
Which is, I don't... The
Hashtag power couple.
So proud of her, and I'll stop short of naming the school so no creepos go,
Snaps.
But proud of her. But what ironically is we've had this discussion about apps and things like this that they use at school, because sometimes I see her fumbling around with something, but the school doesn't pay for stuff like this definitively. They want the free apps, and I'm like, every
and
student,
it's never helpful.
So look, hey, get you some Canva for education. Maybe it's affordable, or they just need to subsidize it or something.
Right. Right.
There you go. Get them on it early. That way, when they leave school, they got to pay for it.
That's what happened.
It's a free taste.
That's what happened to me with Apple Music and Word.
It's like the candy.
Yeah, when I had to pay for a Microsoft Office, I was like, I hate being an adult.
Yes.
And we're still in this vein of apps that are playing toward business because TikTok, who just can't stay out of the news, is launching Sounds for Business to help marketers create engaging content. This is, again, brilliant. They've announced that the launch of Sounds for Business, a collection of music, voiceover, sound cues designed to help small businesses create quick and engaging content.
Yeah. I'm wondering if this is stuff like, that we do when we add like the the funny add-ons and stuff. Like, I think it's just like all the stuff that we pay for normally, like for our editing, like when we're doing videos and different things for our sound libraries. Now they're including it in there and makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Look, this is all about how can you keep consumers and businesses that are using the app in the app.
Right.
Using the app to create the content. Longer time in the app, it keeps them there, posting it and using just the app instead of making them go outside of the app. And so it's convenience, but it's also removing friction for what they need to create the content that really aligns with what they're trying to do. Totally. And sound is a big part of anything. Big sound design guy. We spend a lot of time on that here and have a lot of sonic branding is what we call it.
Love it.
Trademark, hashtag, registered.
Copyright.
But makes a lot of sense. And hey, TikTok's doing the right things. I mean, they're kind of getting after it.
They get it.
Amazing what, the China communists can come up with.
Just don't work for the government and you'll be fine. Speaking of great things that you can't do if you're working for the government, Vacay Delta 8 Gummies, my personal favorite sponsor of the RADCAST. No shame to Good Ranchers or Branded Bills, but just for my lifestyle. My boyfriend calls me a stoner now, which I'm not. But again, and I sound like a broken record. I was so anti, all of it. I was like, it's like great for you, not for me. And I'm like, I probably take a gummy at least 4 or 5 times a week. And I've never had, it's always at night. No, I'm never operating heavy machinery. But it's great. I don't wake up groggy. Definitely chills me out. I drink less wine. Which is,
This is a health and wellness product. Let's be honest. The stigma that you talked about is what the problem is.
Right.
This is not about getting high. This is not about a stoner.
Right.
This is about using a product that helps you sleep, helps you relax in a natural way that is not have all the side effects that other things.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not about, it's like there's I don't take it because I'm addicted to it or because I'm addicted to the feeling that I get. It's just like, if I want to chill out a little bit, and I don't want to, deal with the calories of wine or the fact that wine totally ruins my sleep.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I'm addicted to Advil. Not really.
Right.
It's just I have headaches and some foot pain from old injuries, and I take Advil 3 to 4 times a week.
Right.
Not every day, and but 3 or 4 pills, but because it helps.
Yeah.
And it's not bad for you. Right. In the right dose and the right atmosphere.
I'm a huge proponent of this, and I talk to my friends about it. I'm trying to get my dad to take it, and
Yeah, and so
I'm a pusher, but
yes, takeavacay.com. Vacay, everything is third-party lab tested, folks. This is not. I don't know what I'm getting. There's not FDA approved, and it's I have no idea.
Right.
And be worried. Well, guess what? Chris Hansen, the owner, is already worried about that for you. He's worried about that so that you don't have to be, because he's had everything third-party tested, everything, every ingredient. They know what's going in there, and they have clear dosage amounts for the varying levels of what you're trying to do at what level. And you need to go to takeavacay.com, check it out, try it. We're going to be giving away some samples here shortly. We'll be talking about that more. We're doing that because it's one of those products where there's the stigma. Mm-hmm. You really have to try it to kind of know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
I was very okay, do I want to do this? And I love it.
Yep. So,
and Chris is great. He, I like knowing him and knowing his passion behind the product is part of why I'm so confident.
If everyone met Chris, everyone would buy Vacay.
Honest to God.
Literally.
Honest to God.
Because of how genuine he is and how passionate he is about it.
And he's so honest.
Really, he's just that guy.
Right.
And so.
And the product is good. It's literally
great.
Perfect.
It's, yes, just like him. Takeavacay.com. Give him some love. Tell him the RADCAST sent you.
Speaking of American made, Silk, the soy milk or alternative milk company, is giving Nepo babies milk mustaches to boost plant-based alternatives. Again, this is kind of a play on the Got Milk campaign.
Yep.
But they're using Nepo babies. And for people who don't know what that term means, it's an individual whose parents are famous. So it's like they already have access to the industry. Did they have to work for it? You know, Paris Hilton is kind of the quintessential picture of a Nepo baby, Kardashians, all of that. So this is a fun commercial for... You know, it makes sense that like an alt milk company would do this.
Do you guys remember? Are you guys old enough to remember the Got Milk?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't.
Big time.
That was a huge campaign.
Yeah.
And sold a lot of milk. And the milk mustache. I don't know. Like it's just an iconic look. You know, like you see that and it makes you smile no matter what. You put a baby up there, and then it's a famous celebrity you've heard of's baby. It's like, man, it's like
right. Right. And now that we're on this huge, you know, alt milk kick because we're like anti-dairy. It feels very smart to kind of play into this without infringing on any kind of copyright. I think it's a fun little campaign.
Yeah, and they've got a filter on TikTok so that you can win Silk Next Milk for a year and be featured on a Times Square billboard. Who doesn't want to get on a Times Square billboard?
Right?
You know?
It'd be a lot of fun.
I kind of want a milk mustache, you know?
Well, we can make a RADCAST TikTok.
Yes. See?
With it.
Borrowed interest. You know, that's how you do it.
Wearing our Branded Bills merch while taking vacay.
These milk plant-based alternatives are like all the rage now. Like when I'm having to like when I go to the grocery store and I'm just looking for regular milk, I'm like stumbling over like the 17 kinds of. Because I just don't buy that much milk. So when I do go, I'm just getting like the fat-free or skim milk or whatever.
Not to like bring up a dark time, but like the most 2020 thing to me was when I went to the grocery store and there was, or maybe it was when it snowed, whatever, it doesn't matter. But all of the dairy milk was fully stocked and all of the plant-based milk was gone. And I was like, if this isn't the most hipster bullshit I've ever seen.
Yes, that should have been a meme or a immediate picture up,
Tell me you're a Gen Z without telling me.
I know. Coming from a freaking hipster yourself, aren't you?
I was pissed off because I was looking for almond milk. So yeah,
see?
Absolutely.
Exactly. You like oat milk?
I do love oat milk. Yeah. But I'm also not, I have half and half in my coffee every day. So I'm not
Nicole's gotten where she's not intolerant, but it doesn't right with her. So she's on like the whole alternative milk thing now.
Sure.
And I just don't really drink that much milk.
My dad will, because he's like fruits and nuts and granola, he will make his own oat milk and almond milk. I was like, where do you milk
aggressive.
an almond? But like, there you go.
For that shit,
right? He's all about it and puts it in his protein shakes.
Yes.
Whatever. And then we have our OG sponsor, Branded Bills, which we are still, again, if you're watching the video, we're still surrounded by all of this product. Can't go wrong with it. We're getting new sponsors, but we can't forget the people that helped us get started. Amazing quality, made in the USA. You can still use code RADCAST20 for 20% off your entire order. You can get RADCAST merch, custom merch, t-shirts, hoodies.
Yes.
Whole shebang.
Literally, I'm sure, I look around at any given time, I probably have some merch of BrandedBills.com.
Truly.
Literally, it's either a hat, a beanie, a t-shirt, or it's pretty nice out, sending more hoodies. But telling you, the best quality stuff in the U.S., just like everything else. That's what I'm saying. Like, we promote this stuff.
We're picky.
But we're picky. Like, this is the best quality. Like, I pick good friends that
Ryan
make
and
good
I are
things.
snobs. We are
Christina,
snobs.
validates it for me. I'm like, all right, I think this is good.
Yeah.
You like it? Okay, I'm in.
Right.
So, very good and original OG sponsor.
Yeah.
And if you go to use RADCAST20, you get 20% off your order. Custom orders, custom logos. Or they have a great design team that can help you with your design. Or if you check out some of the stuff they do, they're very trendy. They've got a real good St. Patrick's Day.
It's almost yacht
theme.
hat season.
Oh yeah. Oh, I that's on my list. I gotta get that ordered.
There you
said
go.
I was gonna do it last year, then I forgot.
Weather got too cold.
Yes, got too cold. But go check them out. Branded Bills, BrandedBills.com, official merchandise sponsor of the RADCAST. Good people, American owned, American made, just like we like it.
Amen.
Give them a shout out.
Chipotle and TikTok are back in the news again. Borrowed interest. Chipotle is embracing the viral TikTok trend with a new menu item. I love this so much. There was a hack that went around on TikTok called the fajita quesadilla hack. So people would go in, ask for this, hack Chipotle essentially, and then go to TikTok and talk about how to get this menu item. And Chipotle obviously saw all of these TikToks and now put this item on the menu to avoid the hack and also keep the trend going. Again, I think it's super smart.
It's super smart. I mean, like, here's the lesson. If you're a brand, I don't care if you're big, small, like, it doesn't matter. If consumers that are non-paid are just natural influencers or lovers of your product, and they create something related to it, like in here a menu item or something like that, your people need to be picking up on that and leaning into it. And that's what Chipotle's doing here. They're picking up the borrowed interest from something that's already gone viral, and then they're actually creating the items to match it and like telling stores to honor it and make it, you know?
Totally.
Super smart. And this is how you do marketing in 2023.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to lean into these things. You've got to leverage influencers, and you've got to empower them. And I think this is what they're doing. They've, you know, they kind of got the blessing of maybe them having interest in creating sort of these things and then leaning into it.
Well, and they're connecting with like two really cool creators. I'm not as familiar with Alexis Frost, but I do watch Keith Lee's videos all the time. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but when he initially like got on TikTok, he had like $1,000 in his bank account, and now he's partnering with all of these big brands. He seems like the kindest human being. He's so genuine. So it's also cool, you know, social media makes us feel so connected. And so there is like, I have this weird, like, proud mom, like, yeah, way to go, Keith. I wish you all the success.
There you go.
So again, just kind of a fun ad.
Yep.
Now we're going to move on to some cars, but we're keeping TikTok because always. This is insane. Mercedes is souping up their in-car experience with TikTok Google partnerships. You heard that right.
Yeah. Being a car guy, this definitely hit my radar. And I will say this, as a car guy, my biggest disappointment in cars has always been the in-car entertainment systems. Like, with where everything's come. And I get that we weren't just going to be able to, you know, while driving, be distracted and watch television. So I don't mean that. I just mean in general, they've never been as good or intuitive as they should be. Some cars are better than others.
Mine is not.
Well, let me just tell you. So, and now, look, we have some of the fastest, smartest computers in the world in our hands, smartphones. And so we're used to a certain experience with that. And not taking cues from the way those work for what you do, the speed and operation. Talking to you, Range Rover, my Range Rover infotainment is the slowest. Like, I'm like, it's probably like 2 seconds, but when your phone,
when you're like,
you touch the screen, and I'm like, you know, I could have made 3 calls while I was transitioning screens.
Totally.
And like, oh, Meridian sound and all this stuff. Okay, that's great and all, but how is the UI UX? You know, and I've always been disappointed. And I'm busting on Land Rover a bit because I think theirs is slow. It's not just them though. It's either some are faster, but it doesn't always quite do what you want it to.
Totally.
And I'm a tech guy, and sometimes I'm like fooling with these things, and I'm like, I hit 7 buttons to you know, like, get my Bluetooth connected. Yeah. It took me 7 buttons to get here. Like, come on.
Yeah, and it again, it's like such a
put a Bluetooth
problem.
button on the dash.
Right.
It's just there, and it brings it up and starts connecting. Like, come on.
It just feels like a problem that should have been fixed by now.
So this integration makes a lot of sense. This is how people are using things. So again, as long as you aren't like watching and driving, but hey, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much I'm worried about liking something and commenting. I mean, I guess you're going to use voice to use that.
Like with the E-Class sedans, the in-car version of TikTok allows you to like and comment, but only when the car is stationary. So they're already implementing that like safety piece of it. But again,
well, I'm going to give somebody a free advice. If you're a car, you need to be integrating with Waze. And you need to have Waze buttons on there, because Waze is social maps and driving, where literally it shows you where there's accidents, it reroutes stuff. That should already be, you should already have that integrated. They're owned by, I think Google owns them now. So integrate that in, and you should have buttons on the freaking steering wheel that are customizable to where you can, like, because when you're on Waze, have you ever used Waze?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where, you know, you verify if there's somebody pulled over, if there's something holding up, but you should have buttons that allow you to have that social interaction that's not distracting you, but it's improving, you know, traffic flow.
Right.
I mean, there's so much technology that's not integrated that wouldn't distract from the experience, but it just improves traffic flow and other things.
For
I
sure.
feel like it's so behind.
Yeah, I hear that.
So, yeah. It's cool. Great.
Yeah.
Mercedes.
I'm still over here using my
But it's not the best or nothing, because
2009 Nissan with like the aux cord plug-in that shorts out. I've got to like twist it around.
I know that plug-in.
Oh, God. It is my lifeline. Coke joins the AI hype train in the search for the next-gen creative capabilities. Coca-Cola has become the first major brand to take advantage of a new partnership between Bain & Company and OpenAI, so ChatGPT, to improve marketing and operational processes. Examples of potential use for brand marketers highlighted in the announcement include more personalized advertising copy and targeted messaging. We talked about this before the show.
Look, this is smart. You have to lean into this. Like, we're using this. I'm using it at the agency. We talked about how we're going to integrate it further into our team. And it's like shortcutting things and researching. And look, part of me as an agency owner could go, oh, shit, the brand's using it. Like, oh, they're not going to need agency. No, they will.
Right.
It's still going to take creativity, ideas, further, but it can streamline some of the stuff so that, like if there's a core idea, it can personalize it and expand it into different things. So it's really about optimization.
Well, in my mind, I consider myself a creative person and I love writing, especially when it comes to like my own material for stand-up. And if I'm spending all of my brain energy trying to figure out how to caption something for, a retail company or, something very minor and very small, I don't have the energy to put into the work that involves a little bit more. So this just, again, use it as a tool, use it as an aid. It's not a threat. It's something that's going to enhance, I think our industry for sure.
Yep. So if you're not using AI, you need to be trying it.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting where Google lands on all this with their platform.
Yep.
So it's going to be an interesting few years with that. And I mean, you've got AI with sound, you've got AI with images, you've got AI with copy, obviously.
Right.
So it's all a tool to optimize and to get more efficient is what I would say. But I think the danger will just be if you just copy and paste what's there, someone else could do that same thing. They put the same search in. So
you
got to add your own flair to it and more context that only I think the humans can do at this point.
I agree.
Very good. Any other final thoughts on the week?
No. Enjoy the weather if it's nice where you are.
Yes. It's been nice here. I think we're jumping right into...
I'm going to be in New York, so I'm going to be where it's freezing, but it's fine.
The spring swing.
Ready for it.
Yes. You know where to find us, theradcast.com. Search for all of our content. It really is a jammed up website. You need to go there. We've got over 300 episodes cataloged there. We've got highlight clips. We've got full videos. It's a treasure trove of knowledge. You can use our search bar and literally search for Instagram
Easy to navigate.
Engagement, and it'll bring up that keyword from any of our show notes or transcripts so that you can go straight to an episode that focuses on a topic that you want. Really should be leaned into more. We got great traffic, but I'm like, this is a treasure trove of knowledge. So get it a try at theradcast.com. You know where to find us. Christina Yassi, Nick Weaver, I'm Ryan Alford. We'll see you next time on RADCAST.
To listen or watch full episodes, visit us on the web at theradcast.com or follow us on social media at our Instagram account, the.rad.cast, or at Ryan Alford. Stay radical.